Allow me to tell you the story of Darkblade 9000, also known as Kevin. Life wasn't so bad for Mr. Darkblade. Admittedly, some called him a shut-in who lived to play World of Warcraft or whatever other game took his momentary obsession, but he had a job in data entry, and even managed to get himself a somewhat neglected girlfriend. Then, his parents died in a car accident, he was fired from his job, and his girlfriend said she was tired of playing second fiddle to a dark Iron Dwarf Death Knight and dumped him. Then, he was hit by a truck. Then, darkness and dripping sounds. Is this heaven, he thought? The horde of chittering rats nipping at his heels quickly dispelled that notion. More likely hell. Is this some kind of divine punishment? He asked himself. Half torn apart by rats, he clawed and scraped his way through the darkness, fattened prey in an ecosystem that belonged to the things of the dark under. Until the pitch-black world shifted and his legs gave way beneath him, tumbling, skidding, hurting. Then a voice, another fellow human being, and a woman at that. A woman with dark grey skin and pointy ears. She took pity on him, began tending to his wounds, and asked the key question, "What are you?" This is where we pick up Darkblade 9000's story. Kevin. She says it like she's filing it away, not greeting you. The bandage on your thigh tightens one final time and she ties it off with a sharp tug that makes you hiss through your teeth. You have no gear, no light, no manner I can see. You're wearing... She pinches the sleeve of your t-shirt between two fingers, rubs the fabric and frowns. Nothing useful. And you killed a shaft rat and a pale centipede with a stick. Wait, was she watching us? Has she been watching us this whole time? She stands, wiping her hands on her leggings. How did you get into the gullet, Kevin? The lantern light catches the angles of her face. Up close she looks tired. Not just physically, but in some deeper way. The kind of tired that lives behind the eyes. 2 weeks alone in the dark will do that. Okay, so she's asking how we got into the gullet, which I'm taking is the name of this cave we're in, this dungeon. I mean, yeah, I'm going, what is the gullet? The lantern flame guttered between you. The woman, grey skin, white hair, ears tapering to sharp points like nothing you'd ever seen on a human face, stared at you. The hard line of her mouth didn't change, but something shifted behind her eyes. Ears tapering to sharp points. This is an elf. You're in it. She lifted the lantern slightly, letting the light crawl up the wet stone walls around you. Water trickled somewhere nearby. The ceiling was low, jagged, pressing down. The gullet, a dungeon in the Ironback Mountains. She said it flatly, the way you'd explain to someone that water was wet. Then she paused, and the flatness cracked just a little. You don't know where you are. Not a question. She crouched down to your level, lantern held out to one side so it wasn't blinding you. This close, you could see the fine scars on her forearms, the worn leather of her armor, the 2 short, curved swords strapped to her back. Who is this, Drizzt? Her eyes were pale, almost silver, and they moved across your face like she was reading something written there. Kevin, how did you get down here? I mean, what am I going to say? I died. I was hit by a truck. I was hit by a truck. A truck. She repeated the word carefully, like she was turning a stone over in her hand. No recognition in her face. None. I don't know what that is. Silence. The lantern hissed quietly. Water dripped somewhere behind you. Tap, tap, tap. Steady as a heartbeat. She watched you for a long moment. Those silver eyes didn't blink enough. Then she exhaled through her nose, not quite a sigh, more like a decision being filed away, and stood up. Can you walk? Can I walk? I mean, I'm on 0 HP. I can walk. I can walk somewhat. Okay, what do I want to do here? I want to get bandaged up ASAP. I want to get healed up somewhat. I'm not doing so well, to tell you the truth. She looked down at you the way that someone looks at a flat tire. I can see that. She reached into a pouch on her belt and pulled out something wrapped in oilcloth, a strip of dried meat, dark and leathery. She tore it in half and held one piece out to you. Eat, slowly. You'll throw up if you rush. While you took it, she scanned the passage behind her, head tilted slightly, listening. The lantern threw her shadow long against the wet stone. After a moment, she seemed satisfied and turned back. There's nothing behind us for now. The rats avoid the water. Is that how I got away from the rats in the first part? She tucked the other half of the meat back into her pouch. I'm heading deeper. Down. You can come with me or stay here. A beat. Staying here means you die. So, staying here means I die. Okay, I guess I don't have that much choice. What are my options? Deeper sounds great. Ask why she's going deeper. Eat the meat and get up. What's down there? I mean, I have a lot of questions. What is down there? Why is she going down there? Where am I? I feel, as much as I like sarcasm, I feel like I should actually get some information here. Eat the meat. In between bites. I love deeper. What's deeper? The meat tasted like salt and smoke and something gamey you couldn't identify. You chewed slowly, the way she'd said. Your jaw ached. Everything ached. More of this. She gestured vaguely at the walls, the ceiling, the dark. Wetter, then tighter, then worse. She watched you eat for a moment, then crouched and began adjusting the lantern's wick, turning it lower, conserving oil. The light shrank to a dim orange glow, just enough to see her face and a few feet of passage in either direction. The shaft you came down. You can't climb it, not without gear, not without... She glanced at your arms, didn't finish the sentence. The only way out is through, down, then through. There are passages that connect back to the surface on the lower floors, supposedly. Supposedly. I'm looking for someone. She said it the way you'd mentioned the weather. Flat, factual, not inviting questions. She stood, slinging the lantern onto a hook at her belt. The light swung and settled at her hip. Finish that, then we move. When am I going to get my HP back? So I can ask who she's looking for. That's a good question, but she clearly doesn't want to talk about it. Finish eating and stand up. Yeah, sure. I don't even know your name. That's a good question. And check the mystery pouch. As much as I love the mystery pouch, I think it can wait for now. Right now, yeah, I need to learn this woman's name. She has bandaged me and given me food. I mean, I should probably thank her, but I'm mostly mad about the state of my life and being transported to a cave with things that are trying to kill me. I don't even know your name. And eat the food, then try to stand up. Kel. That was it. No family name, no title, no elaboration. She'd already turned away, scanning the passage ahead. Kel? Kel, I'm Kev. Nice to meet you, Kel. I'm Kev. You swallowed the last of the meat. Your stomach clenched around it, unsure, then accepted it grudgingly, and pressed your palms against the wet stone wall, pushed yourself up. Your thigh screamed. The bandage Kel tied was tight and professional, but the muscle underneath was torn meat, and it let you know. Your vision went white at the edges. You locked your good knee, leaned into the wall, and breathed through your teeth until the passage stopped spinning. Standing. Technically standing. Hey, success! Your bad leg held weight the way a wet paper towel holds water. It would work until it didn't. The ankle bites throbbed in counterpoint. You were upright, swaying slightly, one hand on the wall. Kel looked back over her shoulder. The lantern at her hip lit her from below, carving shadows upward across her face. Keep up. She started walking. Not fast, but not slow either. The light moved with her, and if you didn't follow, the dark would swallow you whole. I guess she doesn't leave me much choice. I'll follow her and ask. Hey, Kel, so what are the monstrosities down here other than giant rats and centipedes? You limp after the light. Every step on your right leg was a negotiation. Plant, wince, shift weight, repeat. The wall was your crutch, your fingers trailing along wet stone, finding holds where you could. Kel moved ahead with the easy, quiet gait of someone who'd been down here long enough to stop thinking about where she put her feet. Crabs, she said it without turning around. Armored, hard shells. You won't crack one with those. A nod back toward the centipede mandibles at your belt. Though she couldn't have seen them, she just knew. Hit them from underneath, or don't bother. The passage narrowed. You had to duck under a low overhang, and the motion sent a fresh wave of pain up your thigh. When you straightened, she was still talking. Same flat tone, like she was reading a supply list. Beetles, glow when they die, harmless, don't waste energy on them. She paused at a fork, held the lantern up to check chalk marks on the left wall. Small, precise, symbols you didn't recognize. Her marks, apparently. She went left. That's this floor. Below us is water, things that swim, things that bite in the water. She ducked under a jutting shelf of rock without breaking stride. Below that is worse. The passage opened slightly, and you heard it. A faint click, click, click. Somewhere ahead and to the right, rhythmic on hard stone. Kel stopped. One hand drifted towards the sword at her shoulder. Crabs. Quieter now. Stay behind me. Stay behind her? Yeah, I'll stay behind her. I mean, I'm at 0 HP. One hit is gonna finish me off. Am I really the type to just stay behind, though? I mean, I wouldn't mind getting stuck in with a centipede mantle or two. They are venomous. If I could sneak in underneath there and get myself a sneaky kill, I wouldn't mind, but okay, so I'm going to ready the mandibles, dual wielding. Darkblade 9000 always dual wielded. More swords, more good, right? I'll stay behind Kel, but take an opportunistic attack on a weak spot if I spot an opportunity. You pulled the mandibles from your belt, one in each hand, curved and translucent, still faintly sticky with venom. They fit your grip like oversized thorns. In the dim lantern light, they looked pathetic. They looked like exactly what they were. Parts of a bug you'd killed with a stick. Darkblade 9000 always dual-wielded. Twin vorpal edges of the Night Lord, glowing purple, plus 47 to critical strike chance. These are not those. But they were sharp, and your hand remembered the weight of holding two things at once, even if the things were wrong. Kel drew one sword, just one, her right hand, and dimmed the lantern further with her left, until it was barely an ember. The passage ahead widened into a shallow chamber where water seeped down the far wall in a dark sheet. In the dying light, you saw them. 3 crabs, dinner plate sized, low slung, armored in ridged shells the color of wet slate. They moved in short lateral bursts. Click, 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 pincers raised. Picking at something on the ground, feeding. Kel moved fast. She closed the distance in 3 silent steps, boots catching the nearest crab under its shell rim and flipping it onto its back in one smooth motion. It scrambled, legs churning air, pale belly exposed. Her sword punched through it before it could right itself. Crack. Done. The second crab lunged sideways, pincers snapping. She sidestepped, easy, practiced, and kicked it into the wall. It bounced off the stone and landed on its side, legs scrabbling, belly half turned toward you. Right there, 2 feet away, soft underside facing up. Come on, this is my chance, but I think no, I don't think I made it. You lunged, bad leg and all, and drove the mandible down at the pale underside. The crab was already righting itself, legs catching stone, and your strike scraped across the edge of its shell with a scritch that sent a jolt up your wrist. The mandible skidded off, no purchase. The crab snapped a pincer at your hand. You yanked back just in time, stumbling on your bad leg, white-hot pain, vision swimming. A blade came down from above and split the crab nearly in half. Kel pulled her sword free and flicked the mess off the edge. The third crab was already scuttling away into a crack in the far wall, wanting no part of this. She looked at you, looked at the mandibles in your hand, looked at your leg, which was shaking badly now. Underside. I said underside. A pause. But you moved. Something in her tone that wasn't quite approval. Wasn't quite surprise either. More like she was updating a calculation. That something. She knelt by the 2 dead crabs and started cracking one open with practiced efficiency, prying the shell apart with her blade. Inside, pale meat glistened. Eat this later. Crab keeps for a day. She carved out a chunk and held it to you, then started on the second one. Well, okay, thank you for carrying me, Kel. Am I just going to eat this raw? I can take the crab meat. Teach me how to do that. I would like her to teach me how to do that. If I'm going to be trapped in this cave, I would like to have more than 1 XP, and I would like to at some point get off 0 HP. Take the crab meat and eat it, then ask her, can you teach me how to do that? I don't even know where I'm from. I don't know what accent I should be doing here. The crab meat was cold and slippery and tasted like the ocean if the ocean lived underground. You ate it anyway. Your body didn't care about texture anymore. It wanted fuel, and the meat was fuel. And you could feel it hitting your stomach like a small gift. Kel didn't look up from her carving. The flip? She finished with the second crab, wiped her blade on her thigh and sheathed it. Then she picked up an empty shell half, scraped clean, big as a salad plate, and set it on the ground upside down. Foot goes here. She tapped the shell's rim with her boot, not on top, under the edge, then up, a quick scooping kick. The shell flipped into the air and scattered against the wall. They're top-heavy. All the weight is in the shell. Once they're over, they can't right themselves fast. 3 seconds, maybe 4. She looked at you. 3 seconds is enough. You put the point here. She tapped the center of her own stomach, where the legs meet. Soft, 1 hit. She set the shell back on the ground, upside down again. Do it. Yeah, let's practice the flip. You set the shell right side up on the stone. Slide your foot forward, bad leg, because your good leg was the only thing keeping you standing, and tried to wedge your toe under the rim. First try, your shoe caught the top of the shell and pushed it sideways. It scraped across the rock and stopped. Under. Second try. You got the toe under, but kicked too hard. The shell flew up, hit the ceiling, and came down in 2 pieces. Kel looked at the pieces, looked at you, said nothing, picked up the other shell, and set it down. Third try. Toe under the rim. Scoop, not kick. The shell flipped, wobbly, ugly, and landed upside down at your feet, rocking gently. Now stab it. You drove the mandible down into the center of the upturned shell. It punched through the thinner underside with a satisfying crack and stood there, quivering. Kel pulled the last of the crab meat from her pouch and wrapped it in oilcloth, tucking it into her belt. She didn't congratulate you, but when she stood and started walking again, she said, over her shoulder, "Next one's yours." Hint, you're learning the crab flip technique. A successful kill would give you 2 XP, and you need 11 total to reach level 1. Okay. Killing a crab would give me 2 XP. Nice. Okay, so level 1, I need to kill, what, 6 crabs? I mean, I can get grinding. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff to do here. I need to ask her who she's looking for. The chalk mark she's leaving, I mean, that's not super high priority. The mystery pouch, yeah, I should probably look inside. Yeah, let's check the mystery pouch real quick. Who knows? Maybe it's full of healing potions. that might be slightly wishful thinking. Check the mystery pouch. You fished the pouch out while you limped. The leather was stiff and cracked, the drawstring half rotted. It came open with a tug that nearly tore it apart. You tipped the contents into your palm. 3 coins, dull, greenish, smaller than quarters, some kind of copper, stamped with a symbol you didn't recognize, a vertical line through a circle. The edges were rough with corrosion. And something else, a smooth, flat stone the size of your thumb. That's pretty big. Pale white, with a faint line scratched into one face. Where your fingers closed around it, it was warm. Not body heat. Warm. Warm like it had been sitting in the sunlight, except there was no sun down here, and there hadn't been for God knows how long. Kel glanced at the sound of clinking metal. What's that? You held out the coins and the stone. She barely looked at the coins. Eisenmark coppers, worth nothing. But the stone made her stop. She took it from your palm, held it close to the lantern, turned it over, rubbed the scratched line with her thumb. Hearthstone, minor enchantment, keeps your hands warm. Lasts forever, basically. She handed it back. Someone paid a circle crafter for that. Common in the mountains. She started walking again. Keep it. Cold kills slower than rats, but it kills. The stone sat in your fist, a tiny circle of warmth in the dark. It wasn't much. It was the first thing in this world that didn't bite, cut, or try to eat you. Okay. Yeah, she said, the next one is mine. So we can keep moving, hunt crabs, ask about the enchantment. Who are you looking for? Or ask about the coins. You know what? I want to get a move on. I want to kill some crabs. Yeah, let's keep moving. Let's hunt crabs. You walked. Kel led, lantern low, and you followed the circle of dim orange light through the wet dark like it was the last campfire in the world. She found them for you. That was the thing. She knew this floor. Knew where the water seeped and the crabs clustered, knew which crevices to check, which sounds meant feeding, and which meant empty shells. She'd stop, point, and step aside. Your job was simple. Flip and stab. The first one got away from you. Good flip. The scoop was clean, but you hesitated on the stab, placed it wrong, and the mandible scraped across the shell instead of finding the soft center. The crab righted itself and scuttled sideways into a crack before you could try again. Kel watched, said nothing. The second one, you killed. Yes! Crab kill! Flip. 3 seconds of pale belly and churning legs, mandible down, dead center, and you felt it punch through, not like stabbing stone, like stabbing fruit. The crab shuddered once and went still, and there it was again, that flash behind your eye, brief and white, and the strange warmth flooding through your chest, fuller, like something inside you had taken a breath. You stared at the dead crab on the end of your mandible. Keep moving. So you did. Through the dark, crab after crab. You missed the third, same mistake. Wrong angle. Kel stepped in and finished it with a casual backhand strike that split the thing in two. You got the fourth. Clean. The flash came faster this time. Easier, like your body was learning to expect it. The fifth was a disaster. Bad flip. The crab landed on its feet and you nearly lost a finger to its pincer before it fled into the dark. The sixth you killed from a kneel, driving the mandible down with both hands. The warmth bloomed again, and this time you could have sworn the edges of your vision brightened for just a moment, like the dark itself had pulled back half an inch. What's going on there? Am I getting better dark vision when I get XP? 3 kills, 3 flashes, 3 small expansions of something you didn't have a name for. Kel was already moving, but she tossed a word back over her shoulder. You're getting it. Okay, wait, let's... No, don't want to ask the GM. I want to ask Kel. So wait. Let's stop for a moment. What is happening when I kill these crabs, and what's going on with the flashes? What is this thing I can feel growing inside me? Kel stopped, turned. The lantern swung at her hip, painting her face in shifting orange. She stared at you for a long moment, the kind of stare that wasn't hostile, just recalibrating, like you'd said something that didn't fit into any category she had. You've never killed before. Before today. Not a question, again. She leaned against the passage wall, arms crossed. The dim light caught the silver of her eyes. When you kill something that has mana, anything that's been changed by it, even rats, even crabs, some of what it had passes to you. A piece of its strength, permanently. She said it simply, like explaining that fire was hot. The flash is the transfer. The feeling is your body absorbing it. She tapped her own sternum with 2 fingers. It adds up. Kill enough and you get stronger, faster, tougher. Kill a lot more and you become something more than what you started as. A pause. That's how it works, for everyone. That's how it's always worked. She pushed off the wall. Those crabs are small. What you're getting from them is small, but it's not nothing. She looked at your leg, still shaking, still holding. You'll feel it the more you take in. Eventually your body starts fixing itself, getting harder to break. She started walking again. So keep killing crabs. Keep killing crabs. Okay. How strong is Kel? And does everyone here know this? Yeah, I mean, I'm getting that impression. Who are you looking for? That'll come in time. Okay, wait. So my question is, how long can I keep doing this for? Can I just XP grind all the way to max level? How strong are you? How long can I keep doing this for? Can I just grind crabs to max level? Kel looks back at you. Grind? Kill them over and over. Farm them. Just keep killing crabs until I'm, powerful. Something crossed her face. Not quite amusement, more like the expression of someone watching a dog try to open a door. You get a fraction of what they had. Crabs have almost nothing. You'll need to kill... She paused, doing math. Hundreds, to get what a single real monster would give you, and then you'd still be weak. She kept walking, talking over her shoulder. It's not... There's no max. You just keep getting stronger as you keep killing things that are stronger than you. But it gets harder. A crab is easy. A burrow wolf on floor 3 would tear you apart right now. A stone drake on floor 4 would tear me apart. And you? What about me? How strong are you? Silence. Just the sound of boots on wet stone and drip, drip somewhere overhead. Strong enough to solo this floor, not strong enough to go past floor 3 alone. Flat, honest, no pride in it and no shame. I've been doing this for a long time, Kevin. Longer than you've been alive, probably. She didn't elaborate on that. The lantern swung. The dark pressed in behind you. How old is she? Longer than I've been alive? How old am I? I'm guessing from that backstory, I'm like 20-something? Crabs won't make you powerful, but they'll keep you alive long enough to kill something that matters. That's the point right now. All right, my options are keep hunting crabs. Longer than I've been alive, yeah. I could get more into that, but I think right now I want to keep hunting crabs. I want to get past level 1. I only need a few more XP. Let's try and hit level 1. The 7th crab you kill clean. Flip, stab, done. No hesitation. The mandible found the soft center like it remembered the way. The 8th, something changed. You flipped it, drove the mandible down. The crab died, and the flash came, same as before, white and brief. But this time, it didn't fade. It expanded. The warmth in your chest became heat, became a pressure that radiated outward through your arms, your legs, your spine, flooding into places that hurt, and places that were numb, and places you didn't know you had. Your vision went white. Am I leveling up? I think I'm leveling up. For 1 second, maybe 2, you couldn't see. You couldn't hear. You couldn't feel the wet stone under your knees or the cold air on your skin. There was only the heat, pouring through you like light through a window, filling every hollow space. Then it passed. You were kneeling on the cave floor, breathing hard, mandible still buried in crab. Your hands were shaking, but your leg had stopped hurting. Not gone, the wound was still there, the bandage still tight, but the deep, grinding ache that had been screaming at you with every step had dialed down to a dull mutter. You could feel your body knitting, slowly, like something had kicked a repair process into gear that hadn't been running before. Kel was watching you, very still. The lantern hit her from below, and her silver eyes were unreadable. There it is. Quiet. Your first threshold. You killed the 9th crab almost as an afterthought. Flip, stab. The flash was normal again. Small, warm, familiar, but your body felt different underneath it. Steadier, like the foundation had shifted from sand to stone. Okay, so I've leveled up, but I'm still level 0 here. Let's ask the OC. Okay. How do I actually level up? How do I increase my level and stats? I have 1 pending level waiting to resolve. It happens at the next natural pause in the fiction, which is basically now. So, when it resolves, I'm going to get +2 attribute points to spend on strength, dex, int, or ka. Strength, dexterity, intelligence, charisma. Just tell me how you want to allocate them. You can split them 1 and 1 or stack them. Quick reference on what they do. So strength is melee accuracy, melee damage, and HP. Dex is defense, initiative, ranged accuracy. Intelligence, magic casting, skill cap, knowledge. Charisma, willpower, resist mental effects, and social. Given your current situation, melee combat, low HP, no magic, strength and dex are the most immediately useful, but it's your build. What do we want to do? Looking at these stats, strength is melee accuracy, melee damage, and HP. That is... It's not defense, it's not initiative, and it doesn't help me with ranged or magic, but if I want to kill stuff, and right now I need to survive and kill stuff, I think I want strength. Okay, let's put it all into strength, please. And it gives me +2 HP per point, so I think that should leave me on 4 HP. Yeah, I'm not 0 HP anymore. Nice. Okay, great. I'm level 1. Okay. Let's test my body. What, do I have bigger muscles? I doubt it. I feel like this is magical strength. You stood up, Not the way you'd been standing, the careful, wall-leaning, don't trust the leg standing. You just stood, both feet, full weight. Your thigh still hurt, but it was a different kind of hurt now. The dull ache of something healing, not the bright scream of something broken. You shifted weight onto it, tentatively. You held. You shifted more. It held. You looked at your hands, same soft palms, same bitten nails. But when you curled your fingers into a fist, there was something behind them that hadn't been there an hour ago. Not much, like the difference between an empty bag and a bag with a stone in it. But there. You squeezed the mandible in your right hand. Your grip felt firmer. The mandible didn't wobble. You took a step without the wall, then another. Your bad leg complained but didn't buckle. You were limping, not lurching. A real limp. The kind people walked on for miles, not the kind that ended in a fall. Kel had been leaning against the far wall, arms crossed, watching all of this with those unblinking silver eyes. When you took the third step without touching stone, she pushed off the wall. Stronger already? Not impressed, observational, like noting the weather. Your body is using the mana to repair itself. It prioritizes damage first, then reinforcement. By tomorrow, you'll barely feel those bites. She turned towards the passage ahead, where the ceiling dropped lower and the sound of running water grew louder. Floor 2 is through there, the water floor. She glanced back. Can you swim? Can I swim? Can I swim? I mean, yeah, define swim. I'm sure I did swimming lessons in PE class. I can swim. I'm extra strong now. And we're going down to floor 2. I'm not sure I want to go down to floor 2. I'm gonna die if I go to floor 2. I'm only level 1. I mean, she can Kel can carry me. I'm as long as Kel's got my back, I'm in no danger here. The question is, why is Kel helping me? Okay, I'm not really sure I want to go to floor 2, but if Kel is going there, I don't have much of an option. I'll follow her tentatively and ask, why are you helping me? You could be getting the mana from these crabs yourself. You followed her into the narrowing passage. The ceiling dropped. The air got wetter. You could feel it on your face, a cold mist that tasted like minerals and old stone. The sound of running water went from distant murmur to steady rush. Why are you helping me? You could be getting the mana from these crabs yourself. Kel ducked under a low shelf of rock without slowing. Crabs are worthless to me. She said it without malice, just fact. After a certain point, weak creatures give you nothing. The transfer is too small. Your body doesn't even register it. She sidestepped a puddle that you stepped directly into. I'd need to kill something on floor 3 or deeper to feel what you felt from a crab. The passage widened slightly. Ahead, lantern light caught the surface of moving water. Black, glassy, flowing left to right across the passage floor. The water reflected the lantern flame in broken orange lines across her face. I can't get past floor 3 alone. I've tried. Clipped, costing her something to say. I need someone to watch the tunnels I'm not watching, even someone who can only kill crabs. A beat. You'll get stronger as we go. I'll keep you alive until you're useful. She stepped into the water. It swirled around her boots, black and fast. Stay close. Don't drink it. Yeah, until I'm useful, inspiring. That is inspiring. That means one day I'll be useful. I'm not going to be a loser who woke up in a cave. Well, a loser dying in a cave forever. One day I'll be a loser not dying in a cave who can watch the back passages while Kel carries my ass. Okay, I want to learn a bit more about Kel. Who's down there, Kel? The water rushed between her boots. She didn't turn around. For a moment you thought she hadn't heard you, or was going to pretend she hadn't. Then her shoulders dropped. Just a fraction. a breath leaving. My partner. Her partner? Is this like dungeoneering partner or partner? The word sat in the damp air. She still wasn't looking at you. She came here to study something on the deeper floors. 5 weeks ago, she stopped signaling from floor 5. Floor 5? Floor 5? How many floors are there? How many floors are there? I'll ask that later. I came to bring her back. Oh. Oh, shit. She's dead, isn't she? If she stopped signaling on floor 5... I'm not going to say she's dead. Kel clearly thinks she's alive. There's no way this girl's alive. Okay. She started walking again, deeper into the current. The water climbed past her ankles. Her voice came back flatter, locked down tight. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm going deeper. That's the whole story. It wasn't. You could hear it in the edges, the way she said partner, the way she said she. But the passage was getting darker and the water was getting colder and Kel was the only light you had. I think that's a good place to leave it, yeah. We have cleared floor 1. I'm level 1. My stats are no longer 0. I now have 2 strength. 2 strength. That's not bad. That's not bad. Last time I said we're moving up in the world and I was kind of tongue-in-cheek about it. But this time I'm serious. This time we're stronger than a completely average nobody who's never killed anyone. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for watching, everyone. I'll be back soon with episode 3.